In today's video, I will show you the two-handed backhand, and I will explain how to get the racket leg in your two-handed backhand, just like Sino do. If you're new to this channel, my name is Patrik Broddfelt, a tennis coach in Norway. To have a good backhand, you need a correct grip. So the dominant hand should be continental grip, this one here, or even a little bit towards the eastern backhand, but not fully. And your left arm, or non-dominant hand, you take like this and put behind here. Now you will have the perfect two-handed backhand grip. Some players have more of a semi-western on the left hand, or you can have an eastern. Both of them works. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is the take back. On the two-handed backhand, what you want to make sure here is you have a split step, you have a uniturn. So when I'm taking racket back, I'm just doing a uniturn without moving my hands too much. And I want the racket head to point a little bit upwards, so my wrists are a little bit higher. And I have a uniturn without moving the hands or racket. Uniturn. And I will stop here. What that means is when you have a uniturn, your right arm are straight or a little bit bent, almost straight. The left hand is bent. So if I show him this way, so I have a uniturn, straight, a little bit bent, racket head up, and my hands will be around waist level, belly button. A common mistake I see here is having a too big of a swing up here. It might work if you're a beginner or junior, where the balls travel slower, but when you're playing more advanced tennis, you need a shorter backswing. You can actually see Sinner now, the latest matches he played, he's lower than usual. He was up here, now he's down here when he's hitting. So the second key is to have the uniturn. And what Rick Mason says, when you take a racket back here, you should be in a position 6:30. What that means is that 6 o'clock, this is 6:30. So it's important that your racket is on the same side as your chest here, just like in the forehand, except you don't want your strings to point down. You can have a little bit angle, that's okay. And then the forward swing starts. When your forward swing starts, you will have a racket leg. If you're in a correct position here, the racket will drop. You will drop your wrist, racket a little bit, and then you will turn as you, what will happen here is you will pull your right hand, left hand will push, and your hip will start. Remember, power comes from ground up. So you always have to start from the ground up, okay? So don't start with your hands here. But I have to explain the role of the hands, so that's why I'm showing this one a little bit more. At 6:30, I drop a racket, and then I pull here, and racket flies back. So I'm using both of my hands here, this way. I'm taking racket back like this, and my left arm follows. So racket drop and forward. And then when I'm here, I will push this left hand out. So it's outside, inside, outside, inside. That's how the racket travels. So it's outside, inside, outside, inside. So this is what creates topspin or racket speed. You can hit flat if you go directly into it. If you drop a little bit more, you will have more topspin on it. This is a reason why Sinner can hit that ball so fast and with lots of topspin on his two-hands backhand. He has beautiful racket leg here. Another key point is you have a split step, uniturn. When you step in, you need to make sure you step in on the heels to the toes. And this right foot, if I'm right hand, don't step over like this. So you have a very close stance, because now it's impossible to rotate your hips. If you're here, you can rotate your hips to this degree here and follow through. You can rotate all the way when you follow through. That's another key to get a great backhand, okay? Split step, uniturn, 630, step in with the heel to toes and drop a little bit, and outside, inside, outside. So it's important to have your racket high up in the take back here, drop, because that's how you get the racket speed. Yes, Serena Williams were down here and had a little bit, but then you have to use more forces, I believe. So if you're here, you can let your gravity momentum work for you. If you're lacking this racket leg, it's usually because you're going to the inside too early. Here it's more difficult to get this racket leg. So if you have a racket showing behind your back before you hit, then you have broken the plane and it's more difficult to get this. So that's why it's so important to have your racket at 6:30 here. Yes, you can have it 6 o'clock. I teach my beginners here, and you will still have a racket leg. If you want more sin away, it will be here, and he will get even greater racket speed that way. Another common mistake to not getting the racket leg is you're gripping too tight with right hand here, for example. Then it's really difficult to get this. It will only be a push. Same if you're gripping too tight with your left hand. It will be a push like this. It's impossible for me to go back here. You need to be able to do these motions in your hands to be able to do, you see I'm going here with the right hand, left hand is going this way. So both hands has to move freely like this. So you can just stand like this and doing this motion. To be able to understand and get the feeling of a racket leg. Of course, you don't want to just hit like this, because you want to use your whole body, your whole kinetic chain. So split step, you have a uniturn, step in, this shoulder, pass, showing to your opponent so he can see your back, racket up, 6:30, and then you start to drop as you step in. And then you have contact point here and follow through. So it will be something like this. That's how you get racket leg on your two-handed backhand. Don't try to force it. It will happen naturally if you have set up your racket this way and not gripping too tight, because then it won't happen. So you need to be relaxed in your whole arm and shoulder to let this happen.